Hey there, everybody. I'm going to show you a little tutorial on how to fold a very simple bug. So this is going to be a little origami tutorial. So I'm starting with a regular sheet of paper because I feel like that's what a lot of you will probably have on hand. And the reason I'm starting with this is because I want to show you, I want to measure and cut this piece of paper so that I have a square of paper. So I know, because this is a standard size sheet of paper, that it is 8.5 inches wide. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from this end here 8.5 inches and make a little mark. It's very important that you make 2 of these marks so that your line that you're going to draw across will be straight. So I'm going to make another measure here, and now I've got 8.5 inches, and I'm going to connect those 2 marks that I made with a nice straight line. I'm going to use some scissors and just cut that line kind of nice and clean. Square paper is almost always what you will see being used if you're going to be doing some origami, so keep that in mind. And it's really important that you make it square. So, all right, so got that guy. I am, just so you know, I'm using a program, a pattern that comes from something called the Origami Resource Center. So just to show you there, Origami Resource Center. Most likely what I'm going to create will come from this website because it's pretty thorough. They've got all different kinds of stuff. So these instructions are what I'm going to be following. Sometimes these instructions are complicated for people, so it's helpful if you just have somebody kind of walking you through it. But like I said, it's very basic. These are some of the designs. So let's get to it. So I'm going to start by turning this paper so that it is a diamond shape, or the math term, I believe, is rhombus. Don't quote me. I always tell my students I'm not a math teacher, I'm an art teacher. So notice I'm just going over this crease with my thumbnail and my fingernail. I don't have much of one, but I'm just making sure that that's a nice sharp crease. That's very important when you're making origami. So now I'm going to take these corners, these outside corners, and I'm just going to fold them up to that top corner. So just to show you one more time, I'm taking this bottom point and I'm bringing it up to the top point of this triangle. I'm going to do that on both sides, and I'm going to make sure that I press this nice and nice sharp crease there. Do the same thing here on the other side. Bringing that up to the top there. And see that that point was kind of pulling against me a little bit, so I just kind of helped it. And now, there we go. Making that nice sharp crease. I'm going to turn the whole thing 180 degrees now so that these flaps that I just made are kind of pointed towards my belly. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to flip the whole thing over. Now I'm going to take this top corner and I'm going to kind of fold it back towards myself. I want to try to do this, so I want, if I could imagine that this line was going to continue down, I want it to connect or to run directly through. I could check it if I wanted to, so I could kind of line it up with my ruler so it looks like I'm square. It's not super important, but visually I think it'll make your bug's head look more normal. So I've folded that. I'm just going to kind of, again, go over that crease with my thumbnail and my fingernail just to make a nice sharp crease there. And I'm going to fold it back up, but you can see I'm going to leave, I guess that's about a 1/4 inch gap. So I'm just folding that up, kind of making that 1/4 inch gap. Going over that crease, again, making it nice and sharp. And now we're on to our next step. So we've got that guy. So the next step is going to be, I'm going to take these things here and I'm just going to kind of fold them in. And there's not a precise angle here to fold them in. but I am going to kind of come past, so I'm just going to kind of fold that guy just like that. Yep, and I'm going to try to do the exact same thing on the other side, so I'm going to look carefully and just kind of gently fold this in to there. Again, you can see I'm reinforcing that crease by going over it with my thumb and my index finger. And now we're going to flip the whole thing over. Oh, one more thing before we do that. We're just going to take this whole guy and fold him in half. So I'm just going to kind of bring these edges over, folding the whole creature in half. That's it. Pretty simple. Not a whole lot to it. But that's kind of our guy there. If you wanted to make this more involved, then I would, just like they showed, I'm just going to go back and show you that image again. I would go back and maybe kind of, create some more details on the wings and those portions. We can definitely, so I can kind of take this and pull it out just a little bit if I want to. Kind of open these wings up a little bit. So I'm just kind of gently pulling this out just a tiny bit. And that's going to allow these wings to kind of spread out just a little bit. But the other piece, like I say, the other piece that I would add to it would be to kind of create some decoration on this guy. But that's our little insect origami tutorial, and check back because I'll have a slightly more complicated one. So thanks for watching.